Hello, replay. It's been a minute. Hello, hello, hello. Oof. Little Shawnee Deshawn is outside having her little evening pee in the yard. Where are you? Oh, it's so nice and cool out here. I actually mowed the lawn. You can't tell, but I am telling you, this grass was a foot long. Oh, talk about finding new ways to get in trouble. Hey, Shawnee, are you done? Okay. Let's see who joins us tonight. Have something neat set up and some new things to talk about. It's been a while. I haven't been live for, has it been a couple weeks? Can't even remember the last time I went live. Anyways. Oh, okay, let's get comfortable. It's bedtime, so I'm just gonna check in here. Hi, Betty Boop. Can we see you? Can we see you? There you are. Shh, honey. What are you barking about? What are you barking about? Hi, Betty Boopy. Hi, Poopsie Boopsie Betsy Boopsie. Hi, my darling. Oh, Shawnee, you're so noisy. Hi, person. We're just getting started here. Just getting comfortable. It's just about bedtime. Time to check in. It's been a minute. I'll wait for some people to come in. Oh, look at. Oh my, what are we looking at tonight? With Saturn. I'll explain it in a minute. Oh boy, it feels good. It's Friday. It's been a week, I tell you. Unreal. I kind of lost my life for a couple weeks there. I have no idea what's going on. Go wing, go on. I feel content. I'm in a good mood. I'm happy. I feel satisfied with life. And what a lovely view. There's a beam right through the middle of Saturn, throwing off the the shape of it. But it's neat. This projection is really neat because you can see at certain points, we'll see when it turns, if we can see it, but you can see the moons of Saturn in this image. I'll explain the shadow in a minute. Shawnee, is it time for bed? Is it time for bed? Good evening. So, I went into the garden today. Was it today? I don't even remember. It's a blur. So I went into the garden and the yard is full of tulips, every imaginable color and type of tulip you can think of. Well, that's not true, but anyways. Lots of different types of tulips in the garden, and I felt compelled to cut some and bring them inside. So that's what we're looking at, is a bouquet of tulips. It's really hard to tell what's going on over there, but I'm going to say there's at least 5 or 6 different types and colors that you won't see right now. But I put the projector on it and projecting through. So the projector's underneath and it's projecting through the flowers onto the ceiling. So that's what the shadow is the flower. And then there's the projection of Saturn. So yeah, there's the view of the moons of Saturn. There's, how many are there? There's 2 for sure. So right between the planet and the rings, there's 2 crescent-shaped moons. And then there's some other bigger circles around it. So I'm not sure if, I don't know how many moons Saturn has. I can see 2 for sure. So some of those bigger circles, the one big one on the outside up above, I don't know if that's a moon or not, but if somebody wants to Google that for me and let me know, that'd be great. So a lot of those planets have multiple moons. So I don't know how many Saturn has. So tulips and Saturn. Is there some kind of weird theme there? I don't know, but maybe to somebody there is. So, yeah, I'm feeling really good. I'm still exhausted from a good solid, geez, how long has it been? A month or two of campaigning and activism. And it's finally over. And we just got all the signs out of the ground, collected, and I'll be dropping them off tomorrow to the party. And tomorrow is our post-mortem meeting with the party executive in this riding to just discuss everything that went on through the election, what just to learn from what happened. And I am hearing there's a possibility that we're gonna keep going. I call this, I'm gonna coin the phrase here, you heard it here first, the phrase the Fanjoy maneuver. And that is a fellow who, by the name of, is it Bruce Fanjoy? Anyways, I always forget his first name, but his last name is Fanjoy, which is brilliant. Brilliant name. And he lost the federal election in his riding in Ontario, Carleton, 4 years ago to Pierre Poilievre, who is the Conservative leader who was supposed to be the Prime Minister as we speak, but he lost. So Fanjoy lost to Poilievre 4 years ago. So what did Fanjoy do? He continued campaigning and campaigned for 4 years between elections, like the whole time apparently. And I gotta find out for sure, but like I don't know if he went out every single day knocking on doors and going to coffee shops and events and all that kind of thing. I'm not sure exactly how much he put into it, but he never stopped basically campaigning. So along comes this election and he frickin' won it. He unseated the leader of the opposition. So anyways, tulips, Saturn. So I think I'm hearing that might be happening here for me in this riding. It's a little gift because I feel like I wish there wasn't that big beam in the middle of the planet going through the middle. It is kind of cool though, isn't it? But anyways, so I have a feeling that I might be able to continue and pull the Fanjoy maneuver with my fellow political junkies to keep going and turn this riding red in 4 years or less. It's a minority government, is what Carney won. So that means that he could receive a vote of non-confidence from the legislature and be forced into an election early. So if that happens, good, because we can flip this riding and go majority. Haha. How about that? So yeah, so that's exciting actually, because I absolutely love the candidate that I worked for. She's phenomenal. She's made for federal politics. She needs to be in Ottawa. So I'm going to fight, and make sure she gets there. And I'll do what I can. I'm still learning. I've learned a lot. I've had my roller coaster ride of a campaign. And I'm actually preparing a brief on my experience at the polls counting. I scrutineered the counting of the votes in our federal election and was dismayed at some of the issues that came up. So I'm going to say the election was fair, but I'm going to say there were major problems that need to be addressed. And that's part of our democratic system, is that I'm allowed to be there to discover those things and make sure they don't happen again. So that's another side project I'll be working on, and that's in order to keep democracy strong. So I see people leaving. No one wants to talk about politics anymore. I can't blame them. There's someone out there that will. So anyways, let's let's do a Banjoy maneuver, and I'm going to move on from politics shortly here, and do and win this riding back, or win it for red, which I don't know when the last time was that that happened, but probably a very long time. So it's exciting to be part of something like this, and it really is a really great team. There's some weirdness in the team, but sometimes teams need to shake itself, give itself a shake, and whatever shakes out might be better. So we'll see what happens. I'm enthusiastic about what's to come. I'm exhausted. I haven't worked so hard in a long time. I haven't felt such like body pain and strain for a very long time. I have arthritis throughout, so my back especially. So it's been a bit of a struggle physically. Tulips, Saturn. So I'm gonna just I'm taking care of myself right now. We're still wrapping up, collecting signs out of the ground and whatnot. But hey there, hi Never and Aaron, good to see you. I love to see that Canadian flag pop up. I have to say, oh, there's the ham bone. Oh, you're the best. I love you. That's so good. Don't ever stop being you. That's so funny. So yeah, so I'm exhausted, just exhausted, and I had to work all week. I took Monday and Tuesday off work, vacation days, because it was the election, and I took the next day off and slept. Basically, didn't get out of bed all day. I physically couldn't because I think I was on my feet for 18 hours the day before, and that's unheard of for me. Like that's pure torture. So, damn my body. I'm actually losing weight at a good clip right now. I decided to go on Ozempic. And my doctor, especially my oncologist, thought that that was really wise because being overweight is not a good idea with cancer, this chronic type of cancer that I have. And so I've been losing a pound a week by not even trying. Like I'm eating normal food. I'm trying to eat healthy, but I eat bad things too, and I'm still losing weight. So it's incredible. I'm blown away by that. So I asked him, it's an internal specialist that is monitoring that treatment, and he's got a clinic in Vancouver called the Revolution Clinic, and they study obesity. And I guess technically I am in the obesity range, but I mean, I had lost 150 pounds at one point. I was very, very slim. I looked fantastic in and around probably 2018, 2019, 2020. Then it kind of fell apart, but I gained back. But so this clinic researches obesity, and they feel strongly, and they're actually what's the word, lobbying, I guess, government, that obesity is a disorder, not a weakness or a willpower problem. So with Ozempic, what it does is completely regulates the blood sugar spiking that goes on with people that have obesity and binge eating issues and all the sorts of things that go along with it. And that it is a disorder, a physical medical disorder, so that people should be treated for it. So I asked him, like, am I going to be on Ozempic for the, like, because if I keep losing a pound a week, I'm going to be down to my goal weight in probably by the end of the summer, easy. And I'll be slim and be able to keep that for the rest of my life. So I asked him, like, do I have to stay on this medication for the rest of my life? And he said, well, you have the genetic predisposition for obesity. So yes, like you have that condition. It's not going away. There's no cure, there's no remission, there's no cure. So this is the medication I'll take. So I mean, I'm sure in the future sometime that'll change and they'll find a cure because I think they're going to cure everything eventually. They say if you can live 10 years, you can live, if you can make it 10 more years, you'll make it 50 because, like 50 more, because science is about, because of AI and teaching machines how to think for us and and advance us beyond our capability of thinking, that we can cure anything at some point and live. long, long, long lives. Now, is that a good thing? I don't know yet. I haven't thought about it too much. I probably will start to read articles on the concept and get different points of view on that. I'm sure that scholars and philosophers are thinking about it as we speak. So, do I want to live to be 250 years old? I don't know, because I'm already late 50s. And do I want to stay in this body? But they're going to cure, if they're going to cure everything and cure all the aches and pains, then yeah, can you imagine like the wisdom that a person that one would have at this age, and it just gets better with age, the wisdom, but to also have the physicality, like the physical body to enjoy the wisdom, that's a whole other thing because they say the wisdom, yeah, what's that saying? I'm for that. No more aches and pains. Exactly. Good to see you, Miss Kim. It's been a bit. It's good to see you. Thanks for dropping in here. Yeah, so I think it's just let's just get through the next 10 years and then we'll be able to be healthy and pain-free and happy for another 50 and live a long life without so many health issues and pains and whatnot. So I'd love to take this wisdom that I'm gaining. It's almost like tenfold lately. Hi, yes, the new job has kept me MIA the last couple months. Oh yeah, that's right. You had that new job. And that's a journey for you too, because you have to walk a lot, which is insane. Like you explain the amount of walking you have to do, and it's just been a lot. So I'm wondering if that's helping or hindering your well-being. So yeah, you guys tell me, how are you doing? Q&A for you. Never in Aaron. Let's see here. Never in Aaron. That always throws me a ham bone. Thank you so much for that and making me laugh every time. What was the best thing that happened to you today? Never in Aaron. That's what I want to know. You're stronger and have lost a few pounds, which helps because if there's, just being lighter is, you know, it's healthier, really. We shouldn't be carrying that extra. So I don't know if you started with me in the beginning, but this is tulips from my garden and my planetarium projecting through the tulips into the ceiling with Saturn. Yeah, so I mean, like a little bit of less strain on the joints, less strain on the back, that kind of thing. So, yeah, so that's what is going on in my bedroom here. So I have this planetarium set up that's actually amazing. I highly recommend it. This is a Pococo. I think you spell it Pococco or something like that. And you can get different images and it just kind of slowly circulates. I love it. I've done several live streams with it. Anyways, so I was just checking and catching up that I've been, and Never in Aaron, did you answer my question? Or did you leave perhaps that the best thing, I want to know what's the best thing that happened to you today. And Kim, Miss Kim, I would love something like that in my bedroom. I should have done that those years ago. I was stuck in here. Yeah, exactly. Make it a beautiful space. I spend a lot of time in my room. I don't even use my living room actually. I love my bed. I feel like Cleopatra. I just lay in my bed. When I'm lounging after work and stuff, I just lay in bed. And it's not like I'm slothing. I'm actually busy. I'm doing stuff with my laptop and online and whatnot, but I don't really watch TV. I don't watch TV at all anymore. I don't watch shows or anything, but yeah, my bed has to be, it's my sanctuary. It's my little heaven place. So happy place. Never in Aaron. I worked on a few shorts for another creator. Hopefully they'll post them. Oh, yay. Oh, I'd love to know who that is so I can go look for them if you're willing to share. No pressure. That's awesome. So I need someone to teach me how to be better at the editing and the stuff. Like I'm not good at the graphics on the internet, or I've never done web design. I'm an IT person by trade, but I've never done graphics or web design or anything like that. I sure would love to learn. That's on my short list for educating myself eventually. Um, let's see. I worked on a few shorts. Yeah, so that's cool. If you have any suggestions, Never in Aaron, on how I can learn, like good podcasts to watch for learning, or courses or whatever, let me know, because I do want to enhance those skills. Miss Kim, I was really super interested in joining you on that website that you bought, that domain you got, because I have some great ideas for what to do with it, and I have tons of material that I don't know what to do with. So, anyways, I have just a really positive, like a positive space that is inclusive, and that would be fabulous. I haven't given up on Scientology. It kind of feels like, I don't know about you guys, but I was talking about that tonight. That sounds great. Yeah, please let me know, because I have really good organizational skills, like project management skills. That's what I've been doing as a career in healthcare for 35 years. I have that solid ability to organize a lot of different things at once, and people and projects. Mostly, I'd rather manage projects than people, but I can delegate the heck out of any project, which to me, like, I've just seen so many, especially lately, even at work, my own day job, and this campaign, political campaign I've worked on, just watching what happens when people hoard the work and don't delegate and don't share. It gets really, it just is toxic. It doesn't work. The best team is everybody, you find the people that are strong at different things and delegate out. And I mean, whoever's in charge, like running the group, and that doesn't mean running the people, it just means running the project, is, yeah, I know I can't do it by myself. Exactly. I mean, you probably could, but would that be fun, first of all? And would it be effective? Because you'd be exhausted and you have no one to talk to, and it's lonely. And what's the point? This is a hobby. We're not making a living doing this, so why not enjoy it? And it's more and better enjoyed with other people. So I've never created a website, so me neither. So it'd be fun to have somebody that is a web designer come in and teach us. Like, they can set up the basics and then like show us how to go in and make little edits, and we can learn as we go. And nobody expects it to be perfect. We can all do it and learn together. So I'm a mentor at work. I'm training people. So this is just like the way that people need to do it. And I just see the failures happen when people are taking control and hanging on tight. And just like, if you're super busy, you're failing. Everybody should have a piece. Like, case in point, is this, I'm planning a Canada Day. It's called Wienerama. Yes, I know. Wienerama, and it's the Dachshund Wiener races for in our town, in our city, on Canada Day. So we're going to have about 80 dogs ish running, like racing. We're going to have 12 heats of 6 dogs each, and then quarterfinals, semifinals, and then finals. And then, yeah, with prizes and the whole thing. It's massive. And I've got about 10, 15 volunteers, and it's a huge amount of work to plan. 2 years ago, I did it. I spent hundreds of hours just exhausted, not having fun. I had volunteers, but I didn't realize I needed more, and I had no idea the amount of work that would be involved. So, anyways, my point to this is delegate. So this year, we've got all these volunteers. My goal is to have no jobs. My job is organizing. So I shouldn't have a task as well. And it's just going beautifully. And I have no stress. It's unreal. Okay, so let me catch up with you. I know I can't do it by myself. I've never created a website. I hope we can find one. I decided tonight to get a template and start the homepage and put under construction and links for people that want to help, so there's at least a page to go to. Excellent. Because really, like, isn't it pretty easy nowadays to start a website with like WordPress or whatever? I don't even know. I've never done it before, but I watch stuff like that with dogs. Yeah, so we that's good, because you're in for. Have you seen my Wienerama video on my channel from 2 years ago? It's amazing. We actually hired a professional videographer, and he made a little video for us. It was, oh, how long was it? 5 minutes, maybe, not even. But it was really good. It just shows you what happened there. And there were hundreds of people watching downtown. And Wienerama. Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny? And we dress the dogs up. Dogs they're just funny. Like they're funny looking little things. So it just makes people happy. I was a Girl Scout troop leader and always had a co-leader. I couldn't do it alone. Exactly. And it's no fun anyway, so why do it alone? It just zoomed in for some reason. Don't do that. I saw some free templates for websites. I think I can use that. Okay, perfect, Kim. That's awesome. Yeah, just go through my channel. You'll see it. It's the Dachshund 2023 Canada Day Wienerama, I think it's called, something like that. And Zippy's here. Hey, Zippy. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. It's been a bit. So Wienerama is going to be July 1st. It's going to be bigger than last time. But we're cutting out the costume contest this year because it was just too much. We don't want the dogs out. It's hot. We're in the desert, so it's hot here in July. So it could be as much as like 30, 40 degrees Celsius, which is, I don't know, what is that, 100, 110, whatever. So there's a chance it could be that hot. So there's no way we want the dogs out for more than an hour or two. So we have to go as fast as we can with these races. So yeah, the dachshunds are amazing. They're beautiful dogs. My Petunia has dachshund in her. Yeah, there's a lot of Doxy crosses out there. Chiweenie is a common one. Chihuahua Dachshund cross. Those are adorable. So anyway, so yeah, what my point to that was that it's like the hundreds of hours I spent on it a couple years ago is not happening this year. I think I've put in like 4 or 5 hours so far, and the planning is basically all delegated out. Everybody is clear on what they have to do, and that's it. So if we're doing a website together as a group, we can just have meetings and, round table. Everyone takes a turn talking about their idea. And then, unless we absolutely hate someone else's idea, everyone just goes with it and let it organically unfold and become something beautiful as a collaboration instead of like one person controlling every little, like that just always seems to work better. I deal with the heat with my dogs too. It gets that hot here sometimes. Yeah. I mean, the whole world is getting pretty hot these days, isn't it? My dachshunds are smooth haired, so they don't even have fur. It's basically eyelashes. So luckily, they don't have that thick coat. Watched a vid by a dog trainer who rated sausage dogs 11 out of 10 for best all around dog. 11 out of 10. Sausage. Oh my God. There's so many nicknames what's it called? Teeny weeny sausage roll was what I called Shawnee when she was a baby. And she was just like a pure round little sausage, her belly. Oh my God. She was so cute. And like you get the weird names. Like other breeds, like they're normal names, right? But Doxies, they're always something weird, odd. Like mine are, well, Shaughnessy, because if I ever had a daughter, I was going to name her Shaughnessy. And I'm not having a daughter, so this was my chance to use the name. So that's not unusual, but my other one is Betty Boop. So it's just always got to be silly, right? It's just a silly breed. And yeah, they're hounds. They are. And I'm going to tell you about that in a second. Yeah, the round table thing so that everybody has a piece of the pie and then their own little passion project. So, like, yeah, unless it's totally horrible and awful and we really have to kibosh something, let people use their use their imagination to take it and run with it and see organically what happens. You never know. Like, we can have little corners of fun going on and even just like a repository for information because there's so much information out there, like the history of protesting and like all those lists of people and all the arrests and all the swattings and all the whatevers. Like, I mean, I understand that can be awkward because there's so many personalities, but the point would be try to make it as inclusive and extensive as possible, whether we liked it or not. It's history, like kind of like a page. That's how I imagine it. But like for just to take our brainstorming and let it go crazy without any limitations really, unless it's offensive or whatever. All of our small dogs had P names, and many were already named when we got them. So it's a thing now. Aw. No other hound was rated highly by the dog trainer I watched. Wow. And so, yeah, they're hounds. And the reason that I wouldn't say they're 11 out of 10 or even a 10 out of 10 is because, I mean, I'm always going to have a dachshund for the rest of my life. I've had other breeds, I've had other dogs, but by a long shot, it's the best breed I've ever had. And I've never had a purebred before either. So that was a bit of a hard pill to swallow because I love rescuing dogs and I always have all my life, but including as a child. But this breed is something else. I can't even tell you. It's a whole different level of, but it takes a huge commitment because they are high maintenance in a lot of ways. So if you do, like, if anyone wants to get a doxy ever, please do your research, and I'm willing to share what I know about it. They're hounds because they're bred to hunt. So they were bred, the standard dachshunds, the bigger guys, like they can be like 25, 30 pounds. They're pretty big, massive actually. They were bred to hunt badgers. Can you believe it? Badgers. Like those things are vicious. So they were quite a bit bigger of a dog originally. And badgers, so Dachs means badger in German. Is it DACHS? Is badger, and Hund means dog in German. So Dachshund is how you pronounce it, and they are badger dogs. So they were bred to hunt badgers, if you could believe it. And those are vicious creatures, like so they burrow, like those badgers are underground, so they dig, like they can dig their way through, and that's why they have such a massive chest. So they can hold a lot of air while they're going underground. And the short little legs, like they just have like solid muscle and muscular legs, so they can dig like there's no tomorrow. And then came along the miniature breed. So they started to create these tiny miniature dachshunds, which is 99% of the doxies you see nowadays are mini. So they're under, I believe it's the cutoff is like 12 pounds, 13 pounds, something like that. And those are mini dachshunds, and they were bred for mousing and rat hunting. So Shaughnessy was actually in classes for rat hunting. Don't freak out. It's called barn hunt and happy ratter. There's two different types of rat hunting you can do. They're classes and then competition. And it's pet rats. So they're actually friendly, happy little rats. Not little, but because they're quite big. And, they're rats. It's a challenge for me, but anyways. And they are pet rats that are raised with dogs. So they're used to dogs. They love dogs. They hang out with dogs in their homes. But they are brought out by the owners who also own these dogs that are taught to sniff out rats. So the rats are put into like tubes, plastic tubes that they fit into comfortably. And there's big, huge holes so they can breathe and they just sit in the little tubes. So they set up like bales of hay and like tons of them. They make tunnels out of it, and there's like multiple levels, and it's all complex. And then they hide the tubes with the rats throughout the barn, like the bales of hay. And then there's classes on teaching your dog how to sniff out the rats and find them. And it's just a whole, like, it's a sport, basically. And then once the dogs find the rats, Shawnee loses her freaking mind. So I can't remember if I have video of her doing it. If I do, I'm going to post it. I'll go look for it after, and I'll post it so you can see what it looks like. And if I can't find one of her, I will go online and find some. Happy Ratter is meant to imitate urban rats settings. So like garbage cans and garbage and paper, newspapers crumpled up. And so it's not the barn theme with the bales of hay and whatnot. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. So they're when you say they're hounds, yeah, they're hounds. They're bred to hunt basically. And they I'm not joking, Shawnee is she loses her mind when she finds the rat. So it's all let's see, where was I here, you guys? Poppy, peaches, pickles, pepper, petunia. That is absolutely precious. Petunia is my favorite in that list. Peaches is pretty cute too, though. Both of my remaining doggos are named after spirits. I'd love to know what those are. Spirits. Can we guess? Ginny and Marguerite. Ah, I want to know what those names are. Zippy. Hey, Fab Daddy, good to see you. Are you happy how Canada voted? Yes, I am ecstatic how Canada voted. I like minority governments. I'm happy Carney won, and he is going to be watching his P's and Q's because he didn't get a majority. So he has to behave himself and be inclusive of all parties and all opinions in legislation, in legislature, in parliament. So yeah, I'm super happy. Also super happy that Polyev lost because, no Maple Mega, right? You know my view on that. I won't go into that too much more. I'm not going to talk about that much more because I don't want to upset anybody. I respect everyone and all parties. We need all parties to have democracy. So, yeah, the third good thing that happened, I think that came out of it, as much as I love Jagmeet Singh, the leader of the NDP party nationally, I think it's time for him to step down. The left needs to reconvene and figure themselves out because the split voting is really stressful on us, healthcare workers, and all that. And the fourth thing that happened that is not good is that we lost my riding. So my riding, my candidate that I was fighting for, lost this election. She wasn't expected necessarily to win. We could have won it if we were more organized and had longer. It was a very, very short campaign duration of about 2 months. That's extremely short. I know you guys in the US go on for a year or whatever. So if we had more time, I think we probably could have taken it. I was flipping votes. I was flipping like voting public right up till the day before. Like people that I talked into flipping. And it wasn't that hard actually because of the issues going on. So I enjoyed it. I love talking to Canadians. I'm going to keep doing it and I'm going to stream it and continue the activism. But it's not always going to be politics. I just want to. I know a lot of people don't like that content, so I'm not going to focus on that exclusively. That it was just a really. This is a hot election for us because our country has been threatened with invasion, and that's not a joke to us. So we a lot of people flipped their vote that they usually vote for and went a different way for that reason. That's why Carney won, because he's the best person to stand up to that threat. Our Arctic, our North, is at grave risk, actually. So I think the world might have to come in and help us, to be honest, and that's a fact. So, anyways, back to dogs. Petunia, let's see where I was here. I didn't want one because of possible back problem. Exactly, back problems. And Petunia has a long back and jumps off the bed. Yeah, you know what? My doxies, oh my God. Shawnee doesn't jump off the bed or the deck or whatever. Hounds are not chill. No, they're not freaking chill. And you guys know that from watching my stream. If you've been watching me for a year, you know that. Constant noise and barking and howling and freaking drama, and it's like having toddlers constantly. But I love them, and their backs are very sensitive. 25% of all dachshunds are born with IVDD genetic disposition, so they end up needing like $20,000 surgeries and stuff like that. So, and there's nothing you can do about it. They're born with it or they're not. The key is to keep them really well exercised, keep them in shape so they have the musculature to support that back. They cannot be overweight. They have to, if you see doxies that look skinny, that's intentional. We have to see ribs. Like we're not starving them by any means, but they cannot be an ounce overweight. Like my doctor said, the vet, Shawnee was a pound overweight, and that was serious. She's 10 pounds, and she got up to 11, and she should be 10, maybe even 9, because her ribs aren't sticking out, basically. So they absolutely cannot be overweight because of their backs. So it's crucial. They also are not allowed to jump up and down off of things. Betty Boop takes flying leaps off of my deck, but she's pretty solid. She's big. She's like 15 pounds. That's called a tweenie, in between, tweenie. So it's between a standard and a mini. So they're kind of like mutts of the dachshund world, like they're in between sized, but they're probably the hardiest actually. Like they're probably mixed with something way back generations ago. So they are a little healthier, but I just wish she wasn't like taking flying leaps off the bed and all that kind of thing. I have a big ramp on the side of one side of the bed that they both use to get up, and then Boopy takes her flying leaps to get off, and then Shawnee runs down. She uses the ramp faithfully, and she does not take flying leaps off of things. But she's quite a bit smaller, and she looks more fragile. She looks like she could break if she. It's almost like she knows it. So far, so good. Shawnee's about to turn. Shawnee is turning 4 May 19th. Betty Boop is turning 2 June. Is it 26th, I think, or 24th, something like that. And it's in my calendar. Anyways, I'm a bad mom. I should know that. So they're 2 and 4 basically. So, they do jump off of things when they're younger, but as they get older, like they do start to limp around. It's a fact of life with the breed. And they do live to be like 16 years old. They're little dogs, so they live a long life. So it's sad when you see dachshunds that are overweight, under exercised, and living a long life. They just limp around. And it's quite cruel. Like, we need to take care of them. So if you're going to have a dachshund, you got to be aware of all that. Plus, my insurance for 2 dogs is, what do I pay? I think it's like 217 a month or something. And that I need that because if they need surgery, it's 20 grand and I have coverage. But that cost does include my annual checkups and stuff and vaccinations. So that helps. It is included, so that cost is bearable. But if you're gonna get this breed, it's serious business. Like you can't not have the money for them because they end up needing lots of vet care. They have trouble with their teeth, so their grooming has to be good. Like I take care of their teeth and their nails, and I clean their ears, and I deworm them, and they take deworm stuff like every 3 months. You have to be on top of all those things. It's serious for the breed. So it's pricey. Shawnee cost me like $2,800 during COVID. Betty Boop was 1,400 after COVID. So I don't think I got ripped off though, because she's a unicorn. She's pure black with a little white patch on her neck. So that's a very, very rare color for the breed. So, anyways, sorry, I think I'm neglecting you guys. Hang on, let me catch up. Petunia was born in my house. I was fostering a homeless man's dogs while he got cancer surgery, and she didn't look like she was long until she got older. Yeah, those crossbreeds, I can spot them a mile away. I love them, and they're so healthy. Like it's such a good idea for a dachshund. If you want a doxy, get a cross. They're beautiful. Yeah. Thank you for taking care of those dogs for that guy. That's amazing. Just stopping in to give a like. Have a great weekend. Stay hydrated. Thanks, Fab Daddy. You stay hydrated yourself. Actually, I'm having a cherry cider right now. Speaking of which, time to take a sip. Woo! Cheers. Cheers, everybody. So I drove by one of the orchards in the town I live in. My town is basically one massive farm community and orchards and vineyards everywhere. So I stopped in at one of the orchards on the way home earlier and grabbed a couple cherry ciders right from the farm. So good. And I don't drink much. It's rare. I have a drink once a month or two. And tonight I just felt I was I went for apple juice. Because they make their own apple juice. It's freaking phenomenal. But they had cider, and I'm like, oh my gosh. It's been a tough couple weeks. I think I deserve a cider. So I got cherry ciders, 2 of them. Anyways, that's a lot for me. I might be drunk in 20 minutes. Let's see here. Where was I? Thanks for stopping in, Fab Daddy. I think he's gone now. Always appreciate you, and I know we differ on our politics, but that's okay. And that's the beauty of democracy. If we didn't differ, if everybody agreed with me, it wouldn't be democracy anymore, would it? We need to have opposing views on certain things. We all have different values. We all have our top 3 to 5 values that kind of decide what politics, what way we're going to lean. So I embrace that. I just don't like extremists. I wish everybody could be moderate, because moderation, the gray area, is going to keep everybody loving one another. If you start being extreme in your views, you're going to hate somebody, guaranteed. And I don't hate anybody. I kind of hate the haters sometimes, but I'm trying not to do that. I have plans for something. I won't talk about it tonight, but I have a project I'm going to start up, and it has to do with the anger. There's a really angry portion of society right now, not just in the US. It's seeping into Canada. It's definitely seeping all over the world. And I'm going to tackle that community because I don't want to give up on them. But they're really angry and they're really off the rails. So I'm going to try something. It's going to be a little experiment, and it's going to be super interesting. It could be a complete and utter failure, but I'm going to try anyways because I like challenges and I'm up for my next challenge. I wasn't sure what I was going to do because I can't go to the US this year. I am basically not able to cross the border. I'll be arrested immediately because I'm anti MAGA with my banners and stuff. So all they'd have to do is Google me. I'm all over the place with my activism and the grassroots stuff I've been doing, and I would be arrested for sure and detained. And I can't, like, I'll have my dogs with me, and that's just not an option for me. So I literally can't go to the U.S. So I don't know if you guys realize, any Americans watching, that is how bad it is right now. You may not be aware of that. That Canadians would love to come and visit, but we can't. We actually can't go. Our government has told us not to go. So it's sad because I was going to spend another solid month of my vacation time this year traveling around the US, probably mostly. But instead, this year, for financial reasons too, I got really, really behind in my finances last year, and all the shit that happened really set me back. So I'm going to spend this year taking it a little bit easy and catching up on that, which I can do. It's fine. No big deal. But I'm going to take a cross Canada trip instead. So I'm going to drive the van east, and you guys will be coming along with me. So that'll be fun, actually. There's some things in Canada along the way it's just a unique, quirky little thing that's done in our small towns along the way that is special. So that'll map my route. And then I'm going through Ottawa. I'll go through Toronto and Ottawa, Winnipeg. That's some anti Scientology people I want to meet in person, and some friends. I used to live in Ottawa, so I have friends there, and I want to see them. I miss them so much. Ottawa's a phenomenal city, so I just have to get back there. It's been too long. And I'm driving, so that'll be amazing. And more like of the van life stuff, the crazy Heather van life, shenanigans and crap happening, the van breaking down constantly. They figured out the problem. They ordered a part. It's taking 2 months to come in, so I'm waiting on that. But the batteries in the house die regularly, so I haven't used it as a camper all winter, so I haven't had it die, except the once it did die for no reason in my driveway. What was that, a month ago, 2 months ago? Anyways, so I had that fixed and, well, boosted. And then I took it in, and what I told them was wrong with it. They said there was no way for 9 months to a year of time denying that that's what the problem was, because I dug really deep online to find all the possibilities. It turns out I was right. So they had to order the part. Has to come from Indiana. Took 2 months, and I'm waiting just to get in for the appointment, because it takes 2 months to get in just to get any work done on an RV. Oh my God, it's so annoying. So anyways, my appointment's coming up in May. So I'll get that part done, and then in my driveway test out the battery power, because I wear a CPAP at night. I actually really need it. I stop breathing like 30 times a minute. No, sorry, what is it? 30 times an hour I stop breathing. So like I'm gasping awake constantly without my CPAP machine. So It's not an option not to have it. And I need the power to do that in the van. But I did buy a power bank, like a big one. And I have more power than I did last year when I was having issues on the road, all the sagas that went on. So, in case anyone's new, tulips from the garden in a vase with a projection device underneath, shining up through the flowers onto the ceiling. And there we have Saturn. So that's my little private planetarium. So, anyways, too bad about the beam on the ceiling, but it is what it is. It's kind of cool. So, yeah, so that's the plan for this summer. I'm probably not going to go until I'm thinking August or September. So that's a while down the road, but you know what? There's so much going on in my neighborhood. I live in a place where Canadians and Americans are flocking on vacation. So we're going to see lots of dogs swimming, like my little doxies and their little stubby legs swimming, and out there floating on these beautiful crystal clear warm lakes. Maybe some hiking. I don't know. We'll see how much weight I lose. If I lose at the pace I'm losing now, I will be able to hike because my body will get better, I think. And then there's all kinds of beautiful. I'm in British Columbia, so the beauty is unmatched. So I'm going to explore places and show you things. There's also some cool things that well, the Docs and the Wienerama Doxy races, July 1st. Canada Day will be a spectacle, so you'll see that. You'll be there for that with me. And then another lady is planning another massive wiener dog event in Penticton, which is an hour south of me. Well, it's an hour and a half south of me, an hour south of Kelowna. Similar, and it's a dachshund thing event. So she has stuff, and I'm going to help her plan it remotely, and I'll go down for that and probably spend the weekend down there. So that'll be fun. And I'm going to keep doing I can drive 4 hours west, or what is it, 8 hours, 9 hours east to get to Scientology orgs and stuff and applied scholastics and all that nonsense. So there will be some protesting activism as well. Hopefully some campaigning, because we're going to do oh God, what the hell? His name, something Joy. Oh God, it sucks getting old. Anyways, the something Joy. Oh, the Fanjoy. His last name is Fanjoy. The Fanjoy maneuver. It's a phrase I have coined. The Fanjoy maneuver. So if you find out who Fanjoy is, we're going to pull a Fanjoy maneuver in my riding politically. And that's going to be, I'm on it. I am so all over that. You have no idea. So I was made for this, like activism and political, it's not activism when you're part of a political campaign, really. I guess it sort of is. It's mild, but I'm taking it to a whole other level, actually, because I can't be normal. It's just, that ship sailed a long time ago. Sailed a long time ago. So, okay, so let's see here. So we're going to do that website, I hope. Let's see, where am I, you guys? Sorry, I lose track. I go off. The beauty of ADHD is the storytelling and the meandering, but it's also a problem. I've learned my terrier has a wicked nose for burrowing fauna. Ooh, that's cool though. Yeah, they love to get in there with their noses. Oh, I love watching that. Just stopping it. Okay, so as we move on, Miss Kim, that did make sense. His female dog was already pregnant. I picked one of the puppies. Ah, they were Pomeranian and Boston Terrier mix, and seems other things. Oh, that's such a beautiful mix, though. Pomeranian anything is gorgeous, especially Terrier. I'd love to see what that looks like. Okay, Fab Daddy, I don't know if he's still here. He's saying hi. Not booze spirits. Okay, I was talking about booze. What did I say? Margarita and Ginny? You have to tell me the names, though. See where my mind went? Because I'm actually having a drink tonight for a change. And like I can have 3 sips and be half crocked. So here's sip number 4. Hey, everybody else is high as a kite online these days. Why can't I be once in a blue moon? I don't drink very often. Puts me to sleep, actually. Let's see. Learning something every day, thanks. Take care, TC. Who is TC? Who is TC? See, I miss stuff because I talk too much. I don't know who TC is. I'm gonna scroll because I'm tenacious and I need to know. Huh? It must be a nickname. Okay, I'm catching up with you guys. Zippy, I have a question for you. What is the best thing that's happened to you today? Both of my remaining... Oh, that's where you said spirits. So I want to know the names of your dogs. Spirits. Okay, spirits. So let me guess. I'm not looking. I'm going to say... If it's not like liquor spirits, it's going to be like spiritual spirits. So what are spirits? The Holy Ghost? That's not a very good dog name, is it? Spirits. God, spirits. Are we talking like New Agey, kind of like Athena, like a goddess? Athena and Zeus, maybe? Zeus. That's a common German Shepherd dog name. I didn't want one because of the possible back problem. Yeah, exactly. We talked about that. Petunia was born in my house. Okay, we talked. Sorry, I'm going back too far because I was looking for who TC was. TC Fab Daddy. TC is Fab Daddy? That must be a nickname. I'd love to know what TC stands for. You guys have to educate me, not booze spirits. What's TC? Take care. Oh, see, Fab Daddy, we're old. We don't know these things. We're getting an education from the children here. Learning something every day, thanks. 2 and 5. Oh, ages. That must be ages of the dogs? Because I was telling you 2 and 4 of my girls. So he will listen to the people. I agree. I don't get political on my channel either, but I'm interested in your government. I don't know how it works. So, Miss Kim, it is actually quite fascinating. It's an excellent form of government. It's based on the... I'm not going to go into detail here. Definitely not going to bore you guys tonight with politics, but it's a parliamentary system, which is based on the British system. But I'm pretty sure we modified it from the original incarnation when we became a country. So Canada's has been a country since 1867. We're very young. So I don't even think Newfoundland joined Canada until what, the 1940s or something? Someone will know. I heard a joke where someone said that it was a good thing that Poilievre, it's pronounced Poilievre. I don't think he even pronounces it the French way, but Poilievre didn't win because our president would never pronounce his name correctly. Well, that's a fact. None of us can either. The thing is, Trump purposely said that he's leaning towards preferring the liberals, which is carny, because he doesn't want them. That's Trump. He'll tell you he is that reverse psychology. Anything Trump says he wants, he actually wants the opposite. So, 90% of Canadians knew that because we know Trump. We watch, trust me. But there are people, running around our country saying that they would never vote Liberal because Trump likes them. And we're like, are you fucking crazy? You actually believed that? And because we're on to him. We get the guy. We know. We've been watching for how many years? Well, I mean, he came into the political world in 2015-ish when he decided to run, but I've been watching him since God, the gross years. And I used to watch The Apprentice, actually. It used to be actually a fun show in the beginning, but he was always a douchebag. But I remember him saying, I think I watched a few seasons, and then one show, I was just getting more and more grossed out. And then finally, one episode, he said that
he thinks there was somebody said something and it was like an innuendo or whatever, and then he said, "Yeah, I'd like to see her on her knees." And it was about one of the women that was trying to become the apprentice, and I thought that is so freaking, as a woman, I just really get sick and tired of feeling like I have to be on my knees for, yeah, just that kind of gross. That's how he sees women, and he's just proved that time and time again. It's not funny when you're scared to go out at night and stuff, and things have happened to you in your life, and it's just, can we just respect women for a change once, dude? Like, so I stopped watching, and that was the end of that. And then 2015 happened. We're like, he's what? Who's running? What? And then I remember driving. I was in BC by that point, and it was probably 2016 before the election. I remember driving through Washington State. I was going down. I go down quite a bit into the US. I'm close to the border. And seeing Trump signs on farmland, like farm properties. And I'm like, people are voting for Trump? Like, is that actually, I felt like our jaws were dropping. We were like, are we being punked? Is this real? And it is. And I thought even the second time, like I was still wondering that. So now it's reality. Now we're being threatened with invasion. They call it annexation, but that's not, it would never be annexation because we would never agree. So thus it's invasion. So, I love Americans. I love you guys. So don't take that as it's not a political thing. We're being threatened and we love you guys and you wouldn't hurt us. And we know that. For 90% of you wouldn't hurt us. But there are people starting to hate Canadians because they've been told to hate Canadians. Just like, DOA telling a bunch of people to hate me. They listened. And that's ridiculous. That's completely ludicrous. I'm not a hateable person. I'm not always necessarily lovable either, but I'm not hateable. That's for sure. I don't hurt a fly if I can help it. So I'm not perfect or excellent, but I'm also not hateable. So, like don't tell people to hate people. It's gross. It's so anyways, there's a tangent. Okay, so let's see here, you guys. Okay, yeah, so the Polyev thing. Exactly. Trump, that would throw Trump off big time. Pronouncing his name. I was in a chat on Canadian election night, and it was amusing interacting with a dude who had just assumed Polyev won because he wasn't paying attention. Oh, God. Oh my God. No kidding. That is funny. Holy cow. Yeah, no, nobody cares really, but it's really important to us. The guy that won, Carney, is, I would say, center left. People think he's center right, but I beg to differ. I think he's hiding his leftness. He's an economist. He went to Harvard and Oxford, and I think he has a master's and a PhD as an economist. He's incredible that way. He was a genius growing up, but he was a hockey player in Edmonton, on the prairies. Like, Alberta's wanted a prime minister their entire lives, and now they have one, and they don't even acknowledge the fact that he grew up in Edmonton. The reason he speaks such beautiful French, or good enough French, shouldn't say it's beautiful. His accent is, he's not fluent. Well, he's fluent, but he's not. His accent isn't excellent. Because he's from Western Canada. We don't speak French out here. But he went to a French immersion high school or school. I don't know how long he was in French immersion, if it was his whole life or just high school. But St. Francis Xavier in Edmonton is where he went to school. And I played basketball when I was in high school against his team at the same time that he was there. So it's so spooky that he might have actually watched me play basketball like, God, how many years ago? 40 years ago? I'm 6 feet tall, so I played basketball. But anyways, so yeah, he's an Alberta boy. And he hasn't lived in Alberta for a very long time, but he grew up there. So, and he's planning to build pipelines across Canada so we don't have to sell our oil to the US anymore. Keep our economy within because we've been cut off at the knees with tariffs and whatnot, and our Free trade agreements have been completely contravened and all that stuff. So we have to do what we have to do. We're going to trade with the rest of the world instead. And he went straight over to Europe and Japan and made trade deals in record time and got us set up. And we're shipping oil off our west coast to China now instead of sending it down to the US. So when the gas spikes in the US, that's why. You guys will find that out. We sell a lot of oil to the US. So when your gas prices go up and your dollar is dropping, ours is skyrocketing. Every day it's going up by a cent. So it's all flipping. Like this is strengthening us, and what Trump has done is crippling you. And you'll see, like he's saying that it's short-term pain, long-term gain. So I guess I could be wrong. Let's see. I hope I'm wrong because I care about you guys. I just like what's happening to my country because we have super amazing leadership. This economist that really knows what he's doing. But the best story about him, and then I'm going to move on. I'm going to tell this little anecdote about him, Carney. He was the CEO, I think, of Brookfield. It's some finance company. And like I've heard there's issues with that company, so I'm going to dig into it and get my arguments, my counter arguments, or find out maybe he's shady as fuck, but I don't know yet. So far, I don't think so. Nothing is taken off in the criticism of him being the CEO of that company. They've done some stuff, apparently. I'll find out and let you know if anyone's interested. But anyways, they finance startups and stuff or whatever. They're a finance company. So he will not finance any company that doesn't have an extremely strong environmental policy and plan built into their business plan. They don't get the money without it. So that's the right meeting the left. That's beautiful. If you're right leaning, it's beautiful. If you're left leaning, it's beautiful. And it's making everybody happy. Like it's actually possible, which to me is brilliant. Someone actually made an attempt to do that and he did it and he's doing it. So he's actually a fairly left-leaning conservative in some ways. So, I mean, in the end, I think he balances out to the center, but some of his, like he's going to put in, he just announced, you guys, this is incredible, Canada-wide dental care for people. I think he's including different age brackets. They're adding to it slowly. So he just announced the 18 to, like seniors were already covered. And now they're covering from 18 to 54, I think it was, just a couple days ago. So dental care. So it's like basic dental care. It's not like veneers or anything, but it's like you're not going to die from dental disease anymore in Canada. It's part of healthcare. And that's going to be covered for the lower income people. That's incredible. Like that is monumental. And then he's doing all this other stuff for like childcare and pharmacare. And Trudeau started a lot of that stuff, and Carney, same party, so they're just continuing. Trudeau stepped down. Carney picked up the flame, and they're going to continue that work. And kudos to the NDP that was part of the minority coalition with Trudeau. So those left-leaning policies that help everybody, no matter how poor you are, comes from the further left NDP party. So it's kind of cool. And we just, like, community is important. We got to care about everybody, especially kids. Mental health treatment for youth and children is off the charts because of Trudeau. He put in a lot of money into, and why do we have all the money to spend on that stuff? Because he legalized marijuana and taxes it. So in 8 years, the amount of millions and maybe probably billions of dollars coming in from taxing marijuana has paid for all these programs. Brilliant. Because one, we needed to legalize it. Brilliant. Two, we needed money to fund all the other stuff to happen. Three, the other thing that Trudeau did that was brilliant was he spent a ton of government money on building bridges, fixing roads, all those sorts of infrastructure type things. So you need to hire blue collar workers to do all that. And guess what? Those people get jobs, they're paid well, and they pay taxes. So that money goes straight back to the government. So it's a cycle. So they spend, but they get it right back right away. So how is that not smart? Anyways, I'm a fan of that kind of long-term thinking when it comes to governing a society. And then nobody's starving on the streets. Like, if you have poor, so ultra poor people, like the US has taken away food stamps from human beings. Can you imagine? So those people are going to commit crimes to survive. And then your jails have to grow, and that's taxpayer money. So instead, why don't you feed those people? And they don't have to commit crime to find bread to stay alive and go to jail. And you won't need as much jail. You won't need as much law enforcement. You won't need the criminal justice. All these things, like, just, you got to think bigger, long term. Like, take care of humans, they'll take care of you. If people are taken care of, they're going to love their community. If you shit on them and piss on them while they're laying on the street, they're going to fight you. So that kind of anger and hate is only going to breed more of it, and that's going to cost you. Like, if all you care about is money, and my money, mine, not yours, it's all mine, you're going to be robbed. You're going to be unsafe. You're going to be whatever, all those things. It's such a long term perspective that people forget to do. Okay, let's go back to chat. Enough of that. I can't help it. It's so much fun. Let's see. Polyev. She goes up, but she won't come down. Oh, you're talking about steps? We have steps. She goes up, but won't come down on them, looking into building a ramp. Yes, ramps are the bomb. Just make sure when you have a ramp, it's not too steep. Like, it has to be long. Because I had a guy make me a ramp one time, like when Shawnee was a and when she was a puppy, she could run up and down that thing. But even like 2, 3 years old, it was too steep for her. So if you get a ramp built, make sure it's not too steep. I know that sounds like a no-brainer to some, but I'm not that smart sometimes. Poppy was my heart. She picked me instead of the kids as her human. She had a lung disease at 11 years. Oh my gosh, I can't even. I already, oh, Zippy, I missed one here. May 28th will be the 1 year anniversary of my hound crossing the Rainbow Bridge. She was my first dog. I adopted her in Virginia. She traveled a lot of the US with me. Oh my God, Zippy. Do you have any coverage of that? I'd love to see that. Like, you guys on the road. And that's why I'm so happy to be documenting a lot of my life with the dogs, because I swear to God, when I got Shawnee, when she was a puppy, I started grieving her leaving me immediately. Like, just, I know I have a lot of years with her, but I'm already grieving. I can't even begin to imagine life without her. So, and traveling with your animals like that, a lot of the US with her. Oh my God. Is it a she? Let me just see. Not sure if you mentioned the she. Yeah, she was my first dog. I'm a fan of female dogs. I've always had a female dog. I won't go into why. Okay, so Poppy. Yeah, Poppy, you lost Poppy. It's just, I can't even, you guys. I don't know. 11 years is a decent span for a dog for sure. I'm hoping I get, like, 14, 15, 16 years out of mine. But who knows? Anything could happen. Who knows if I'll get that much time? We don't know. I have an adult beverage when I have my late night Friday chat. It was earlier. You deserve one. I'm a lightweight too. Yeah, it's been a really crazy couple weeks, and I feel like I actually feel content today and tonight, happy. And I haven't felt this way like, I've been stressed out really and busy. I don't like being busy. So for the first day in a long time, I feel content again. Content is the hardest thing to feel for me personally, because it's kind of like that super deep level of not happiness, just contentedness is a whole other thing I can't explain, but I'd rather be content than happy, because seems fleeting, comes and goes. Oh God, what happened to moderate? Why does it have to be so black and white? Exactly. And like, okay, so yes, some things are black and white. You know what? You hurt a child especially in certain horrible ways, you're fucking done, and that is black or white. There's certain things in life that are black or white, and most humans understand what those things are. It's pretty obvious. But The rest of life is pretty, if you live black or white and everything, you're going to hate somebody or something constantly because it won't agree with your cut and dry black or white judgmental views on things. Like we have to be flexible. Sometimes when someone's driving like an asshole, they're not driving like an asshole. They're driving because they just found out their child is in the hospital and they might be dying and they have to get there and get there now. So if they're driving like a mad person, they're not being an asshole. So don't judge them with from that black or white perspective. Always think maybe what's their intent? Like we don't know. You can't know. Sip. Time to take a swig, you guys. Take a rest. Take a drag, take a whatever you're taking. Xeno Marlene, is that what they say? Xeno Marlene, everybody. I've never said that out loud before in my life. It's so cute. Okay, that was the end of my cider. I drank a whole cider. That's amazing. It was warm by the end though. Too slow. Hate. Okay, let's go back to that. I'm sort of philosophical. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but okay, where was I? I don't want to miss a thing because you guys are cool. What did you have, Miss Kim? What was your adult beverage? I'm curious. Zippy, my hound was 1 to 3 years old when I adopted her. We spent 11 years together. That's beautiful. Oh my gosh. Hounds are funny. Did your hound howl at ambulances and like sirens when they went by? Because mine do. And I have some coverage of that. I think I have a short. I have a short of Shaughnessy howling. She was sitting on the deck on a chair and she didn't know I was watching her. I started recording her and she didn't know I was there. And then an ambulance went by and she started howling at it. So I have the video from behind her, like unaware of me. It was freaking hilarious. So you find that. I think I reposted it recently, so it's on my shorts. You'll find it there. Yeah, what happened to moderate? Let's go moderate, you guys. Like, then we'll be less judgmental. And we'll realize, we'll look more at intent. What do people intend? What did they mean when they said that? Were they being rude? Did they mean to be mean? Like I've said a lot of, like watching my videos back and reposting my videos, I stopped for a bit because, well, I'm actually on hold right now because I'm still shaken by it. But I was like, some of my videos were, okay, I'm going to point into the dark because I got to turn over. My shoulder's messed up right now. Anyways, I was like disgusted with myself actually. I was arrogant. I was bragging and I hated it. I took the video down and I was breaking through, like I was enjoying watching myself. I was like, okay, I'm not as bad as I thought I was, and I'm a decent person, and I was starting to like myself. And then I pulled these braggy moments, and it was awful, absolutely awful. But so I took the video. There's two of them I took down, and I haven't been back up since. I disappeared a bit. So this is like a journey. Like I didn't know I was like that. I also like people like always say how strong I am. I don't feel strong. Like I know I'm strong. I come across as strong and assertive, but and confident maybe. I don't know, but I'm also insecure in some ways. So you put all that together and sometimes it comes out really ugly. And I didn't like what I saw and it was really painful. So I'm on a journey. So like I hope I become a better person. I really do. Yeah, I really hope I become a better person because of this. And check myself, like think before I speak so I don't come across that way. But I feel soft inside. I feel like a kind, soft person. So when people are like, "Ah, yeah, Heather's strong, hello," like I don't feel that strong. Like that's how I'm perceived and it's weird for me. Cuz I was super shy as a kid. I never spoke until I was 16. Like, yeah, I don't feel like that person that I've become, but I am learning how to embrace. So watching myself is healthy for the most part. And I am liking myself. So that's really amazing. I'd never thought that would happen. Okay, hate is probably not the right word to capture my feelings about extremists. Yeah, hate is not the word. I agree. What is the word? I'm a little fearful of extremists because and I have some sympathy. I don't know. I feel like they're tortured people. I feel like they are so trapped in anger and fear that I can feel sorry for them in a way, but on the other hand, they're also hurting a lot of people. Like they're damaging our world. And I want to reach them. And that's my next project, you guys. Stay tuned because I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. But it's going to be a bit of a lonely challenge because I'm going to do it as a solo. It's a group of people, but it's as a solo coordinating it, organizing it. And then, oh God, I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. But I'm not even sure you're going to be able to see it right away because it might have to be private in order to get it started. But I want to start a movement actually that the world needs badly because there's a demographic in society across the world that is in a lot of pain right now that is being, there's a lot of hate thrust upon them. And I think that there's some things, some onion to peel there and find out what's going on. What is happening with that demographic? And, you know, how can we move past it? Because the only way past it is through it with them at the helm because they have to be willing. And I don't know how I'm going to do that because it's a community that I'm challenged by. So I I feel like the last year of my life with all the Scientology hate that's been directed at me was putting me in training for what I'm thinking about taking on in a way. So it's kind of weird. It's hard to explain. I know I'm being vague for a reason because I don't want to, I just want to see. I just want to let it unfold slowly and organically. I don't want to set any expectations and then I just want to see what happens and start small and let it grow. And then I'll bring you in on it as it becomes something important, I think. If it did what I hope it can do and what my imagination allows it to do, it could be the type of thing that could change the world if it spreads. So eventually it would become like an endeavor that I hope other people would pick up on. And don't give up on people. There's people that we can't give up on. And that it ties in with extremism. So there you go. So it's not a specific necessarily population or religion or race or any of that. It's not really like that. It's more just the extremist factor. Like we have to go moderate. We have to bring everybody to the center. We have to have various parties, political parties, and ideologies. We have to because we need that for democracy. We have to differ, but not in extreme ways. We have to find our values, and I believe we share values. We just don't know it. Some people just can't see the values. Yeah. Okay, so hate is probably a hate. Wow, I didn't know that you can't come here. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's upsetting because I'm usually in the U.S. Oh wow, I'm really behind in the chat, aren't I? Sorry about that. Yeah, it's heartbreaking because I've probably been to the U.S. 2, 3, 4 times a year my whole life. Really, we just spend a lot of time down there. Like my God, I've been to Disneyland a ton of times, and I've been to Florida, and I've been all to the Civil War sites all down the East Coast and all through the Midwest. And I used to be in a marching band, and I did winter guard in the winter season, color guard, as a teenager. So I've been all over. Like we traveled like crazy. Wow, I didn't know that you can't come here. So the reason, did I say why earlier? Why I can't go down there? Because I am vocal on Facebook and my social media about being anti-MAGA because we don't want MAGA in Canada. Like that's like I would probably say 80% of Canadians do not want MAGA in Canada. It's just not, it's way too far right for us. We're quite left compared to the US. Even our conservatives, you would call left. Like your Democratic Party would be our conservatives sort of thing. Like we're skewed that way. So Trump is arresting Canadians that have publicly dissed him for no reason. Like one lady was held for 2 weeks, detained for 2 weeks for no reason. And to this day, she was released eventually, but there she was never told why. So I can't be detained for 2 weeks or risk, you know, I mean, Trump is deporting legit American citizens to other countries because they're brown or whatever. That's all happening. So I know people think that that's made up propaganda, but we're on the outside of the country seeing it, seeing these people getting kicked out. We're seeing it. It's right in front of us. It's a fact. It's not a, it's not made up. We know it's true. So it's like it's just too dangerous, really. And there's just guns everywhere, and it's getting to be more and more Wild West because it's not safe anymore. Our government has put out a travel advisory against traveling to the US officially, and that's a huge deal. Like we get travel advisories not to go to countries like, I don't know, like Somalia, or where there's like tribal warfare and that kind of thing happening where it's truly not safe, or there's like a pandemic in Ethiopia or whatever. So they put out like these serious warnings, don't travel there. We've been given warnings not to go to the US. And just being in LA last year, like the conditions are third world, you guys. I it breaks my heart to say that out loud, but it really, I came back with that impression and I was heartbroken because I've been to LA many, many times in my life. I've never seen it like that before. Hollywood is just, it's distressing, and I'm sad, and there's no way to help. Like, there's nothing I can do to help, you know? It's just gone to hell. And it's, I mean, luckily, thank God, it's a massive country and you have beautiful corners all over the place. And there's nice towns and there's beautiful cities. And I'm not saying it's completely gone to pot, but there are, like, the poor are ultra poor. People are starving to death, literally, because there's, like, food stamps have been taken away. So people will starve to death in your country. And that's not something that happens in developed nations. Only developing nations, which aka third world countries, people starve. People don't starve to death in first world countries. It just doesn't happen. Western nations. So that's going to start happening, and it won't be long. So I really hope the communities step up and help one another. Um, it hurts my heart. My body hurts talking about this because we saw it coming, but you're in it, so you didn't see it. Hey, there's a lady. Lady's here. She's probably been here for an hour, and I just noticed now. Hi, Krista. Good to see you. I promise I'm not going to talk about politics anymore. I know you don't like that. I can't help it. I love it. Okay, so take care. TC, take care. Now I know what TC stands for. I see. I'm with the. I get the kids lingo now. I'm on board. Hi, Neverin. It's no fun being normal. Don't be normal. Never. Don't be normal, please. I've always said if we were all the same, it would be boring. I like those that think different than me. I learn so much from. Yeah, Kim, I really enjoy. I've heard you say things like that before. I think you and I would be BFFs if we lived nearby because you're a really outside the box kind of gal, and that's how I am. Like, I just don't. I change my mind every day, and that's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not predictable. I'm way just different. Like, I like people that are different than me because I like diversity. Don't give me melting pot. Give me diversity. I want to go to your Sikh temple and watch how you eat and dance and sing and worship and be included in that, be embraced and learn something new. Like, it's just, that's something we do up here. We have festivals for different nationalities, and then we go out and learn about them. And they get to show off to us, that kind of thing. So I know they do that in the US too, though. You do celebrate, like, different things. I think I'll check out your government online. I mean, yeah, it's very similar to the British system. It's similar to the Australian, all the Commonwealth countries like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Britain, yeah, what else? South Africa, probably a bunch of African nations, probably some South American nations use the parliamentary system as opposed to what's the contrasting system in the US? What's it called? Federal nationalist? I don't know. I can't remember what the
But yeah, it's interesting if you're into politics in any way. You're right about Trump. He's always planning ahead or trolling. And I mean, he's transactional. He was taught to love money overall, over people. And that's just a value. That's his values. That's his family's values. That's what he was taught. And that's it. It is what it is. You can't help what you're born into, and you get brainwashed and all that stuff. We got to care about people first and foremost, a community, even if they're strangers, because like how my neighborhood is doing is how well I'm doing. If my neighborhood is suffering, they're making my life miserable. So, never in Aaron. I fell down a rabbit hole learning about Melania. She helped with his 2000 campaign. Governor Jesse Ventura even wanted him to run under Ross Perot's party, matching funds in ballot. Wow, so he's been getting promoted for a long time. So he's part of that like underbelly that existed for decades before this whole shift in political values happened. Like this era has been brewing for a long time. I thought it was the Tea Party though. I didn't realize it went all the way back to, well, I guess Perot was the beginning of the Tea Party, wasn't he? We know a lot about your politics. I've been paying close attention for a lot since I was 16 years old. I'm glad your healthcare is getting better. Well, our healthcare is excellent. It can always be better, but we're ranked very high in the world. Our uh, infant mortality rate is extremely low. We're in the top tier of the world. So I don't think it's getting better. I would say, yeah, I mean, the more left leaning the party is, the more money they're going to put towards healthcare, our public healthcare system. But even when they're not, if you have something serious, like if you're having a heart attack, if you have cancer, when I got cancer, in January of 2020, I I was in with an oncologist within a week, and I had genetic testing done within genetic testing, biopsy, CT scan. I never did I need an MRI at any point? I don't think I did, not for that kind of cancer. But anyways, it I was treated and diagnosed within weeks. It was fast, and I was on treatment within a week because they knew what it was very quickly. So, and it was 100% paid for. So the cancer I had would have cost an American, if you don't have insurance, oh my God, I would have had to like hundreds of thousands of dollars. It would have been awful. So I didn't pay a cent, not for except parking. And all you got to do is park down the street a little further and it's free on the street. So really I paid nothing for, oh, and my medication is $100 a day for the rest of my life. So I take a pill a day for life to keep the cancer from coming back. It's basically the cancer sitting in my body, but it can't spread because of that pill a day that I take. And that pill is worth $100. So that's what? I'm worth $3,000 a month times 12. That's $36,000 a year. Say I live another 20 years. What is that? I guess I'm worth $1 million ish if I live a normal lifespan. So like that's $1 million just for my cancer treatment and it's free. So, I think that's good health care. If I broke my leg and went to emerge, I might have to sit longer than I probably should because there's 20 people dying and they have to treat them first. So should we have more doctors? Yes, but the shortage of doctors is not a Canada problem. The shortage of doctors and nurses is a worldwide problem. Ask any country, they all have the same issue. So we need to pump those doctors through the system. A left-wing government, as in like in Canada, will fund and subsidize extra spots in medical school. So more people can go to medical school. You don't have to be rich to go to medical school in Canada. You can be a poor kid. If you have the marks, you're smarty pants, you can get into university and get through medical school as a kid that grew up in a poor family. So those spots, they're creating more seats in medical schools, in nursing school, in lab, in diagnostic imaging. All those programs are being funded and subsidized by government to pump more people through because we're short staffed. But Canada's population is too low to do all the jobs that we need people to do. So we need immigrants. So that's why we allow immigration. And we only take in, for the most part, unless they're refugees and we're doing like, philanthropic type work, we take in immigrants gladly. We need them desperately, skilled labor. So we steal the smart people from other countries, basically. Sorry, guys, but we do. And then a lot of people, yeah, hate immigrants because they're brown or whatever. But it's like, you know what? Just get over it because we need them. We have so many South African doctors and so many like, and then people say, "Oh, we have a doctor from so and so that's driving a cab." And you know what? Oops, my internet just blinked out, and I'm just realized I better plug in my phone here so I don't run out of juice because I'm notorious for that, running out of battery while I'm streaming. Hang on, I'm trying to find the male, female. Let's go. Come on. Plug it in. Okay, there we go. Power, just in case. But anyways, yeah, so we're let's go back to Saturn. So tulips from the garden, planetarium projector projecting through the flowers up to the ceiling to Saturn, in case you've joined recently. And Saturn is looking funky because of the beam on my ceiling. Anyways, okay, so I was talking about healthcare. So yeah, so I think I work in the healthcare system. I've worked in hospitals and healthcare in 4 provinces in Canada, and I've worked in 2 different careers in healthcare. So I know it like the back of my hand. I've worked at director level positions. I've worked in all like, and that's as high as I went. I threw myself back down the ladder because I hated it. I don't like corporate. I don't like management. Hate it, hate it, hate it. So I went back to more like I'm as high up as I can go without being management. So I'm in a senior role as an analyst, but I won't ever go up. Well, actually, there's an angle I'm working right now, but we'll see. That's a sidebar. So I might be able to go up a level in my career, but I have to fight for it. So, good old union stuff. But anyways, so yeah, so healthcare. So I do I think there's a perception that is partly right and partly wrong about the quality of healthcare in Canada. So it depends. What are you talking about? What's your healthcare need? If you have cancer, you're getting treated immediately. And I've worked in 2 cancer centers in my career, in management in one, and then as a like a practicum stage student, basically, in another, like ground level, entry level jobs type of thing. Yeah, many, many years ago. So I've seen it all. You're going to get treated. And number one is patient care. Our number one value in healthcare is patients come first, always. That's not the case like when you're comparing healthcare systems. In some countries, it's the bottom line, the profit margin that comes first, number one. And that is not done here. We have a Canada Health Act that prohibits that. So you cannot make profit off of healthcare. You can make a salary off of healthcare, but you can't make a profit. It's not allowed. You can't charge user fees. We used to have that where you'd pay $20 to be seen and emerge. They have made that illegal. So if you show up at Emerge, like if you're broke, you can get treated no matter what happens to you. So anyways, yeah, that's healthcare. Okay, where am I here? Let's see. Okay, so Kim, where were we? Well said, what you said about black or white. It's true. I hear Natalie Webster saying that a lot. It's life's not black or white. That's true. And when you say that kind of thing, I got in trouble in the community by saying that. And I got really grumpy about it because I was misunderstood and not given a chance to explain it. And haters came after me and made it impossible for me to explain it. And now they've been banished. But anyways, it's just like the black or white conversation has to be had calmly, and I have to be heard to finish my sentence because
yeah, it's complicated. Nothing's simple. It's, you know, it's intention. We have to look at intention. What's the heart doing? I can only drink beer. Wow. My stomach can't handle wine, liquor, or cider. Wow. Beer, that's interesting. I think beer is hardest on my stomach, probably because of the wheat, like the hops type situation. I had my DNA tested and I have the bitter gene, which makes sense because I hate wine and liquor and black coffee. Oh, that's interesting. So you hate it? Does that mean that you just don't like the taste or it makes you sick? Because yeah, I guess if something makes you sick, you hate it. It's gonna taste bad after, like it's mental, right? Took you long enough. LOL. I'm not sure what that's about, but Krista, I love it when you tease me because I laugh at myself. So I know how weird I am. Trust me. I like to remind my son on a regular basis how weird I am, and others too. And I like it. I like being weird because what else? Like, if I just own it, then it's less. Why fight it? In other words, she wants food, medical care, and basic standard of living. Get her the hell out of here, right? Can you imagine? How dare I just want that? Like, but you know what? We can easily, with our eyes closed, give every single human being on earth those things. Easy. The province of Alberta in Canada can make enough food to feed the entire world for the rest of time. Can you imagine? And there's no will to do that. People starve to death when there's the ability to feed every human on earth. Just think about that for a sec. Like, what the fuck? So, like, if I had $1 billion, I would just make that. I would just do that. I just, like, yeah, that's the first thing we're doing. No one dies on my watch. Seriously, when there's an option, children dying from starvation? Are you serious? When we can grow enough food, like, that's just one province in one country in the world. One inconspicuous little tiny little place can make enough world food to feed the whole world. At least that's what I've heard. And even if it's not true, grab a few countries to just commit to that, and we pay them to do that. We give them the money and the means to wait till robots are making the food. And we don't need to pay like slave labor for people to work 18 hours in a field to pick food to make barely enough money to survive on to take care of their families. Wait till machines are doing it all. And we have to leisure time, and we can actually do arts and crafts and singing and dancing and music and instruments and God. And we don't have to work, and we can just, like, we're producing food. No one's starving and everybody's happy. Like, oh, my projector just died. I don't think it died. I think it just shuts off once in a while. There's a timer on it. I'm going to go turn it back on because it's mandatory. As I stumble across the room, I think I'm half drunk here. Holy smokers. I am actually a little bit tipsy from that one cider. Okay, back to bed. Oh my God, I'm tipsy. I love it. Not used to it. I'm not drunk. I'm tipsy, but it's just I'm not used to it. All right, so we're talking about food, medical care. I love that comment, Never in Air. I actually do love that comment because that means more than, like, it means a lot. You saying that way. Get her the hell out of here. Yeah, hey. Imagine thinking that that's something that should be a given. Like, wow. Oh, I'm at the end of chat. Yay. Okay, I caught up with you guys. Have you seen Sicko? Do Canadians really get insurance before traveling to the States? Okay, yeah, we do, but it's for like extras. So if I had a medical issue in the States, my basic medical coverage from my government would pay for the basics. Does it work that way? I forgot. Sorry. I'm old. I can't remember this stuff. I get extra insurance when I travel, or shall I say, I have extra insurance when I travel through my benefits at work because I have an excellent job and they give me benefits. I get free massage, you guys, unlimited. Like, I can go for a massage anytime I want. I can get unlimited physio. My prescriptions are not 100% covered, but oh, that by the way, that physio and massage therapy every year is there's like a $200 per year deductible type of thing. So my first like 2 months of the year, I have to pay like $18 out of pocket per visit. And massage therapists charge like 120 bucks an hour or whatever. So then come like March or whatever, I've paid off that deductible. Then it's free and unlimited. So I used to go once a week. I haven't gone for a long time actually. I need to go because my body is I have headaches and just this all this physical stuff I've been doing on campaign. So yeah, what else do I have for benefits? My starting vacation time in my job, if someone came in, got hired off the street, it's 20 days starting. That's your starting amount of vacation. This is the healthcare system as an employee. It's 20 days, which if you use your stat holidays, can end up being, let me just think, 5, 10, 15. You can almost get 6 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks out of that 20 days if you play it strategically. Like we have Easter, we have Monday and Friday off. So you can like have 2 weeks in a row off with just using let's see, that would be like 8 days, but you have 2 full weeks off. So and then around Christmas, like, we have the stat holidays and we have good stats. We have more stats than American stats, I think, like paid holidays, paid Mondays and stuff. And so it's good. And that's all taxpayer money. So are our taxes higher? Yeah, but look at our standard of living. Nobody's really that stressed out. Like, do we have problems? Yes. I mean, there's drug addicts, there's mental illness, there's da 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 da, right? So they just increased my benefits. It's a pilot project where we have $1,500 a year of psychology coverage. We had like counselor coverage before, but it wasn't enough. We need psychologists for certain conditions. If you need to see a psychiatrist, that's the medical system and it's free. But good luck getting in to see a psychiatrist. They're hard to find. We don't have many of them. I think there's a shortage worldwide, so it's not just a Canada problem. Unless you're rich. If you're rich in the US, you can get into any doctor you want. But if you're middle to lower class, forget it. You're out of luck. That's a problem. Our healthcare system, our health by law, we have equity in healthcare. So no matter how much money you make or how rich or poor you are, you get the same quality of healthcare. So that's why we don't, oops, you don't want to turn the phone off by accident. So that's why we ban like people making profit off of healthcare, because if you have a profitable hospital that the rich people go to, you are going to pay your doctors higher salaries. So guess what? The best doctors in society work at those hospitals. So rich people get a higher quality healthcare. That is illegal in Canada. So we don't have that. How we pull it off, it's a long story. If you're interested, Google is your friend. So if you want to find out about that kind of stuff, Google something like compare the Canadian healthcare system to the American healthcare system. I actually did that recently, and there was false information in that. Like the quality of healthcare in Canada is not what people like to say it is. I mean, you might sit in a merge with a broken ankle for 6 hours, but it's because there's 20 people in trauma bays and coming in by ambulance that are dying, and if they don't treat them immediately, they're dead. So you can deal with your broken ankle a little longer because you're not going to die from a broken ankle. So that's the thing. Like people say it was horrible, it was painful, yes, but someone else was dying. So what do you want to do? Is your ankle worth someone's life, type of thing. So anyways, I'm just trying to make a point. It's called triage, and nurses do that. Nurses decide who is dying and and sometimes they miss things. Like they're like, oh, someone has a headache, and that's a headache. And then someone down the hall was just in a massive car accident and rolled down a hill over a cliff, and they're mangled and barely making it. So they treat that person, that trauma, And then that person with the headache is actually having a stroke and they're dead an hour later. So that happens. Of course it happens. But what was the nurse supposed to do, you know? So these are just facts of life. It's just, what can you do? Like, we don't have enough nurses. No shit. What country in the world has enough nurses or doctors? Like, that's not a Canada problem. It's not a liberal problem. It's not a Republican problem. It's nobody's fault. It just, like, us Western countries don't have a high enough population. We're not having tons of kids. We don't have enough people, so we need immigration. And then people hate immigrants. Well, don't be racist because they're usually brown, but they're doctors, so we need them. Like, and why would you be racist anyways? Jesus Christ. Like, what the fuck? That's just like beyond maddening. I don't get it. I grew up in a diverse neighborhood. I kind of grew up in the hood because single mom, blah, blah, blah. And I'm uncomfortable in a pure white neighborhood. I don't like it. It's gross. It's really really boring. It's not rich. It's in character. I don't know. I like, oh yeah, I just like all kinds of people. I like a variety of people. When medical graduates, they have to stay in Canada for a year or two now. Yeah, they are forcing, like, because the thing is, Krista, that's true. Thank you for pointing that out. What happens is our universities, like if you go to medical school in Canada, you're paying tens of thousands of dollars less than you would be paying in the US. Like to train a doctor is tens of thousands of dollars a year, like 40, 50, $60,000 a year for whatever reason. I don't know how that plays on paper, but it is very expensive. So we don't expect our medical students to pay that. No one can afford it. Like we don't have tons of billionaires up here, you know. It's more equitable in terms of income. So because we equalize our money here more so, that's what a left-leaning government will do. It equalizes. You have less billionaires, but also less poor. So it's kind of more in the middle. I guess that sounds kind of like communism in a way, but we have a democratic socialist type of system, sort of. That's all Googleable and interesting because we're not communist at all, not even close. But the reason that we can have a kid from the hood go to medical school is because he or she was super smart and they got in with a 99% average out of high school. So you have to be smart to get into medical school in Canada and have a really high GPA. But is it GPA? Grade point average, yeah. But in the US, you can't go to medical school unless you're rich. So the reason for that is that our government subsidizes those spots in those schools. So it only costs like, 10 grand a year to go to medical school in Canada versus 60,000. Don't quote me on the numbers. I'm just throwing an example out there. I'm not sure what it is these days. And I'm old, so it's probably way more now. But in the US, it's like way more expensive to go to medical school, so only rich kids can go because it's not subsidized by the government. So it is more equitable that way. So you can pick your career no matter who you are. If you've got the smarts, if you've got the talent, you'll get into that program. Sure, you're going to have a student loan. It might take you 10 years to pay it off, but when you're making, 300K as a doctor, and they do make good money here, not as much as the US does. Doctors in the US make way more money. A lot of Canadian doctors leave Canada to go to the US because they want the money. Most Canadian doctors would never leave because they believe in our system and it's more values that they're thinking about. They can't live in a system where people are turned away because they can't afford to pay. That's not an option for most doctors, so they stay here. Some just want the money and they go. Like some cheat the system and we've caught them at it. And then we have even more bureaucracy thanks to, people say red tape. Why do we have red tape? Because people cheat and we have to stop them. So it sucks. Okay, so thank you for that comment. It's a good one and that's why. Yeah, Sicko is a really good documentary for sure.
insurance before traveling to the States. Yeah, okay, so back to that again, Never and Aaron. The an example of why I would need extra insurance if I go to the States or if I go to Mexico or something. If I have a serious accident and I end up in hospital in another country, it doesn't have to be the US, any country. Say I need to be like airlifted by a medical medevac setup, like an actual medical ambulance or airplane ambulance, whatever they call them. I can't remember. But they have to fly me home with a critical care team to keep me alive. Like I don't want to die in another country. That's an enormous cost. That alone would be like, off the charts, 100K, whatever. So my extra insurance would cover something like that. So that's what we would buy extra insurance for. But our medical care plan would cover any base, anything I would get, like, if I have a car accident and show up and emerge in the States while I'm traveling, my medical coverage covers that. Like the government, your government bills my government and they pay it because I'm part of that plan, right? It's like any insurance. Okay, so your nephew is going to school in States because we don't have the course you wanted here. Yeah, that's an anomaly. We have programs here they don't have in the States. That goes two ways. That's kind of like one of those just a coincidental, unfortunate thing. And he probably doesn't get subsidized for it. So he must have some money or willing to take on a massive loan. What is the program, by the way? I'm curious. Wonder what they have down there that we don't, because that's unusual. We usually have all the same thing. Like we're pretty Americanized. We have everything they have for the most part. I know that like vet school is really hard to get into in Canada. There aren't very many of them. We have like I don't know how many. It's like a very small amount. Like, is it 4 or 5 vet schools in all of Canada, and they're hard to get in because who doesn't want to be a vet type of thing? I don't know. Don't quote me. Things like marine biology, it's very rare because like we only have like oceans on. Well, actually, we have oceans on 3 sides of our country: the Arctic Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean. So from when they say in Canada from sea to sea to sea, it's because there's 3 oceans. We don't. It's not like in the U.S. It's sea to sea. Although unless you count the Gulf of America, that's a sea. Just joking. I'm yapping today, aren't I? So I'm curious. Sports therapy. Okay, well they have lots of sports therapy programs in Canada. Kinesiology, like that's the same thing. And I know universities have sports therapy. Maybe it's a specialized certain kind of sports therapy. I bet you it is. Where they don't have, it's there's so few people that take that particular specialty that they don't have schools everywhere because they wouldn't be filled, right? So, yeah, there's always a story to everything. You never know. Do you know anything about Alto, high speed rail from Toronto to Quebec City? Oh, I think I heard something about that years ago that they were planning for it. But yeah, hello, it's about time. I hope so. Oh man, that would be amazing in Canada. Because, like, Toronto and Quebec City are two of the best cities in the world. And to be able to flit from one city to the other and back again, oh my God, are you kidding me? And even like from where I live to go to Vancouver in a half hour would be really nice because it takes like 4 to 5 hours in good conditions to get to Vancouver from now. But if we had high speed trains, oh my God. Well, now I'm going to go look that up, Alto. That is so cool. And if I go down east, maybe I would, what I would do is I would probably maybe go to Ottawa. What would I do? Maybe go to Toronto and get a dog sitter? Leave my dogs. I'd have to be super freaking careful to do that. Trust me. It would be highly, highly vetted. And then take a train from Toronto to Quebec City. I would love that. Oh my God. You guys, if you're ever able to go to Quebec City, go. It's like going to Europe. It's absolutely fantastic. Montreal's similar, but Quebec City is a whole other level of European fantastic beauty. And the French is just beautiful. Yeah. not the one he wanted, sports therapy. So the one he wanted isn't available in Canada. Yeah, that's fair. It sounds super specialized though, because I know we have like sports therapy is all over Canada. Many universities have that, but this must be a specific type, so that's fair for sure. But I think we have stuff here that the U.S. doesn't have or other countries doesn't have, and people come from far and wide. So I don't think that's to do with like Canada lacking something. I think it just has to do more with it's such a specialized area that not very many people take it, so they don't have a ton of programs in the world, really. Yes, I think I came to the end of the chat. Holy smokes. I talked your ears off. I didn't plan on that. So, yeah, I just wanted to catch you up. So, I got this election done, thank freaking God. We'll see if we're going to do the Fanjoy maneuver over the next while. And you can choose to watch or not. Politics, I know, but I'm kind of in it now. Like, I'm invested. And my candidate is fantastic. She needs to be in Ottawa. I need to get her to Ottawa somehow. We, not me, we. Only a team can do it. It's hard work, but it's doable. Now I know how, like, the harder you work on a political campaign, the more likely you're going to win. Like, you have to work a certain level of hard in order to do it. I didn't know that. I thought it was just money, which it is that too, but we have like funding, like we have limits in Canada. You can only fundraise to a certain level because that way, like, I think in the US, like, it's billionaires and millionaires in government because they can afford to win. They can buy that win more so, whereas we have outlawed that. It's not allowed. You can only fundraise a certain amount. Each person, each individual citizen is only allowed to donate a certain amount. And I, for some reason, have the number $1,700 in my head. And I could be way, if I'm wrong, someone please, I'm embarrassed. I don't know that. And that's good because we don't want just billionaires in government, for God's sakes. We want average, like, we want people that are educated and intelligent and knowledgeable, but that doesn't, like, just because you're a billionaire or a millionaire doesn't mean you're all of that. So, you know what I mean? Especially here where anybody can go to university and we have high quality education actually. We're ranked very, very high in the world. So, you can't say we're lower quality education either. We have doctors coming from other countries that are not allowed to practice medicine in Canada, and some people on the right criticize that. Well, I don't want a doctor that was trained in some third world country of very, very low standard of education as a medical doctor coming to Canada and practicing here. I want our healthcare system to stay high quality. And we're in the top echelon of the world. So why would we let that degrade itself? No way. No, thank you. Like, I want to know that when I go see a doctor, they know what the fuck they're doing. So, what they're doing is because we're so short staffed with doctors, they consider like the degree of capability that they have based on their education, the immigrants, based on their education and experience. And then they give them like a number of years they have to upgrade. So they might have to go to medical school for, 2 more years to get their full doctorate in Canada. So they kind of gauge, I think there must be some kind of a panel that decides what they have to do based on the country they're from in order to become a doctor in Canada. And some of them, they need a whole ton of years, so they don't ever bother and they just keep driving cab for the rest of their lives. And thank God, because if their standard is that low in their country, I don't want to be treated by that person. I want that kept at a high standard. So that's just an opinion. Does that sound snobby? I don't know. Like, my life and my family's life and health, well-being and healthcare matters to me. So I like high standards. Medical school is hard, and it's hard for like 12 years just to be a family doctor. So let's keep that going. Or is it 12 years now? 10 years? Something like that. I can't remember. I should know this stuff. Anyways, I don't remember anything anymore. Okay, so sorry, I was just scratching the speaker area of my phone. I hope that wasn't bad. So I'm going to go. Bedtime. tomorrow I'm going to the post-mortem review meeting of the party that I just worked with, like to wrap up. So post-mortem is where you discuss what went right, what went wrong, what to do better, what to do differently, learn from it. But there is some tension in the group. So I'm sad about that and I'm not looking forward to it. So I'm going to try to go in there and try to be the positive person because I think it was a really, really solid effort. Everyone I worked with worked their asses off and tried really hard. So to me, that's good enough. Yeah. So peace at Hammy in Canada and chat. I love that. See, I love the little code language here. Peace at Hammy. That's ham it up again. Thank you. I love the ham bone icon. That's brilliant. I can't believe you found that. I can't believe that exists. And I'm vegetarian, so it's even funnier. Take care, lady. You too. So this weekend, I'm going to see my grandson. We're going to the kangaroo farm. There's a farm with kangaroos, a petting zoo type place for little kids. So we're going. My son, my grandson, and I. And I'm going to do some Pokemon cards. Oh, there's a Comic-Con in town in Vernon. I'm going to Comic-Con in Vernon tomorrow. There's a 90th birthday party I'm going to. Cutest lady ever. And all my neighbors, like they're so amazing. I love my neighbors. And I think that's my weekend. Lots of time with the dogs. They've been neglected since I've been home very little. And we're going to hopefully do some off-leash parks and maybe some play dates and stuff. I'm going to work on that too. So, yeah, there's some stuff. I might pop on at some point. I'm in a good mood. I'm really content in life right now. I think I got a break from Scientology actually, just because I've been so busy. And the election was so fantastic that I have a fight on my hands in terms of the election. I'm not going to talk about at all whatsoever yet. Maybe never, for very specific reasons. But let's turn back over when we say goodbye. Yeah, it's important that I play that one right. So yeah, I can't stop being an activist. I just can't. I can't help myself. When I see a cause, I jump on it. But there is that other cause I was talking about that I'm going to pick up fairly soon. That is also, oh God, I'm so vague. I'm sorry about that. But anyways, I'll say goodbye for once and for all. So I might be able to jump on this weekend, but I'm in a chill mode right now, so I'm not sure how exciting I am. Oh, I wanted to say something, and I'm gonna have to send an email off because I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that Dodge Landisman didn't contact me when he came up to Canada. He said he would contact me, we'd do an interview, and that he would maybe come drive out to Kelowna. I would have probably driven to see him if I heard back from him. He didn't get back to me, so that's too bad. I could have easily driven to Vancouver for a day or two. Easily. Even though I was in the middle of campaign mode, I would have could have taken a day or two off of that to go say hi and meet him and like go to the God, he went to the best rallies in Vancouver. He saw Polyev, Carney, and Singh, all three leaders of all three parties that ran. And he might have even seen May. I didn't watch it all because I was so busy. But I know that he was at all those freaking rallies. I didn't even get to do that. And I'm not that far, like from Vancouver, where he was. So, but yeah, I'm disappointed that Dodge didn't come out here to see me. Like, it's not far. It's like literally like 4 hours down the highway from Vancouver. That's nothing. And the way he drives everywhere, he could have done that in no time. So, Dodge, what the fuck, dude? Come on. Don't do that again, ever again. And I offered you my RV. You could have stayed in my RV out in the driveway. So, he doesn't like staying at people's houses because it's awkward, but I offered him my RV. So anyways, whatever. I'm just joking. I'm not really mad at Dodge. I just am disappointed because I would have loved to meet him in person. And I think we would have had an awesomely animated conversation about the politics. Maybe I could have gotten his views up because I'm controversial. Like half the community hates my guts. So, he might have gotten some hits. Anyways, just joking. And I am pretty well versed on Canadian politics, and he was here covering it. Like I'm very good at talking about issues that 90% of which I don't talk about here because I know most of you guys don't care about politics, and I avoid it. And I don't want to be divisive, and because I definitely am on a side, obviously. But I'm a center Canadian, is what I am really. Probably a little bit more left leaning, but so for compared to an American, I'm pretty far left for an American. But I'm center Canadian, that's for sure. So at least, if not a little further left. Anyways, that's a woman thing. I like diversity. I like rights for LGBTQ, 2SIA community, all that stuff. So I lean left into that stuff, the human rights part of it. But, anyways, here I go again, talking on a tangent. So I'm hungry and exhausted, so I'm going to let you guys go. And I guess I missed you. I'm talking my ear off. So thanks for listening, and we will see what we. I asked him, he said he was going to. Okay, I probably missed something, not the one he. Oh, I see, okay. It's nice being on the side that thinks you're neat. Aww. Oh my god, don't make me cry. It's, you know what, people, comments like that and people like you have made me survive this last year. Like I can't tell you how hard it was, feeling hated by people for wrong reasons when, yeah, it was really, that's a really weird sensation, you guys, being hated by strangers when they don't even know you and they hate you. And people you thought were your friends turn on you for no reason because they were told to, or they ignore you. Like you're in severe pain, like severely like traumatized by a situation, and people you thought were your friends just like ghost you. That actually is probably more hurtful than anything was, but look what karma's happening now. I know, right? But you know what? Here's the awful weird part is I feel bad. I feel bad for people. Even when they've hurt me, I still feel bad for people. Like, okay, so somebody did a live last night, a certain somebody, and if I was his parents, I would have been on the first flight out. I would have been extremely upset and concerned about the that video, that live. I would have been, yeah, as a mother, I would have been there. I would have jumped on a plane. That was concerning. And I can't help but feel, God, so many people are rolling their eyes right now watching this probably on replay because we don't have a ton of people here live. But I think I just can't help it. It's my nature. I have a deep empathy, a deep compassion for other humans when they're suffering, and nobody acts hatefully if they're not suffering. And oh yeah, so karma kind of watching karma go around is a little bit painful for me to watch. I don't know what the fuck my problem is, but it's true. Is that Canadian or something? I don't know what that is, but like I guess I know I do have I'm a highly sensitive person. I have that personality trait. That's what it is. I can't help it. I was born this way. But that doesn't mean I'm cutting slack or forgiving or letting myself get walked on. My elbows are up, man. Don't fuck with me. But I also don't like seeing others suffer, no matter the circumstances. I'm like to. Yeah, so are you the same, Krista? Like super can't help it? Like feel bad even for people that deserve what they're getting? Ugh, gross. I hate it. I wish I wasn't like that. I wish I didn't care, but well, no. I'm glad I do. I don't know. I'm confused, obviously. But yeah, I would have been the parent on that. Is it a Canadian thing? Yeah, we were taught to be compassionate. I think it is, actually. I'm proud of that, to be honest. Yeah, I think Americans think we're nuts, to be honest. Like, why would I even have even an ounce of concern for that human? But honest to God, my first thought, watching that constant string of like frenetic speech coming out of that person's mouth, just like out of it, like completely, there's so much pain there. It was wow. And it's sad because I'm a good friend for a person like that, and that person could have had that. And just wow, I felt something. It was like, my God, I felt his mother, actually. I felt his mother. If I was his mother, I'd be on an airplane. I'm not joking. There's a person in pain there. Holy. glaringly obvious, and I can't ignore that. And I'm sorry if that pisses anybody off, but doesn't mean I'm going to run around excusing anything. And, if anyone's breaking the law or whatever, I'm going to make it known. I'm going to do the right thing still. But I'm not going to exactly enjoy it either. I don't know. I'm trying to come make sense of this. And it's actually a good evolution. Was it an anger video? No, it was DOA last night, I believe. He was on something. He was definitely on something. And that's too bad because I know he's been working on that. I don't know, like details of what he's doing, what's going on there, but yeah, he was just not okay. And it was just, oh, as a mother watching that, ugh. Because I'm a mother of a 35-year-old, so man. And he's not too much older than that. I'm not his mother. I don't feel motherly towards him at all. Trust me. Absolutely not. Gross. But I felt that instinct and I thought of his mother. That's what I felt. And I can't help that. I don't really want to lose that. Just the state of mind was really, there's a lot going on there. I don't know. Gosh. I better watch it. I'm going to get banished everywhere I go if I keep this up with this honest, like, I can't help it. It's the truth. It's how I felt. I'm angry too. Like, I'm still angry. I'm always going to be angry about what happened to me, but I wasn't I wasn't coming across as my true self either at times. So people misunderstood things. Even good people really misunderstood me. So it's not their fault that I was sleep deprived and like, I did come off as crazy at times. Like, I see that. I watched, I'm not crazy. I hate that word, but like I was completely not sleeping for like days on end, feeling obligated to stay at that encampment overnight, over and over, day after day after day. Couldn't sleep, blah, blah, blah. Not with us by your side. Aw, thank you. Yeah, it's helped me make sense of this, like together, because I don't know if anyone relates to what I'm saying, but someone in the world does because we're similar. So like this is a human condition thing that I'm going through and all of this whole community is going through. So we're figuring it out. Like some people I watch people get drunk on the attention they get when they're streaming and getting lots of subs and lots of views and money's coming in and I see what they turn into over and over again. There's some people I can't even watch anymore that I really actually like them as a person, but they don't know yet they've changed. And it's interesting because I actually feel like I might have dodged a bullet. Because if it can happen to them, because they're awesome, it could happen to me maybe. I would hope not, but maybe they're going to see it and they're going to have their moment of, "Oh my God, what happened to me?" It's a phenomenon actually that I'm fascinated by, like what the internet does to people. So cool. Look at in between the rings of the planet and the planet itself. There's the moons. They're like crescent moons. Can you see that? Isn't that cool? That's my favorite part of this image. It's really neat. Those are actual moons. I think there might be more than two moons. Someone should have Googled it for me hours ago. Anyways, I was trying to go, wasn't I? So I just, that popped in my head about him. And I really don't want to see any human suffering like that because for someone to get into that state, to be living that life, actually, it's really sad. It's so driven by trauma, it's unbelievable. And or really, I would say when parents neglect their kids in terms of teaching them to be, when parents overindulge their children, that is a form of parental neglect, in my view. Because overly indulged kids are impossible. They're impossible. They can't function in society. They're like lost souls floating around, causing trouble all over the place. And so I don't know. I can't project what somebody went through or trauma. It's either trauma or the overindulgence, something like that. And then throw in some dashes of mental illness, and that's what you get. And it's like it's a combination of something thereof. And it just all of it's sad. None of it is, like that was imposed. It was not chosen. So that's where I struggle a little. I think it is a Canadian thing, Krista. Holy shit, what's wrong with us? But you know what? People like us, so the world will protect us if we get quote annexed. Are you fucking kidding me? Annexed. Oh, because every Canadian is willing to be annexed. No, you're gonna have to take us by force. Elbows up, guys. All right, talk to you soon. Can't wait to meet you, Krista. You're such a rock star. I adore you. That's coming. I'm gonna come through Winnipeg. I haven't been to Winnipeg since, oh my God, it's been a long time. You have to show me around like the coolest places in Winnipeg, and we'll show everybody. We'll stream it. It's awesome. It's a beautiful city. The lakes in Manitoba are unbelievable. Like it's mostly water. The whole freaking province is, well, there's prairies, but there's also tons and tons of lakes. Okay, I'm gonna let you go this time, you poor thing. You hanging around. Okay, take care, you guys. Have a good one. Cheers. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love it. Love it. Never in Aaron. See you guys.